Hey y'all, how you doing today? Sunny day in Alabama, and I am looking forward to sharing this little tidbit of information with you. I got something the other day, or actually my husband did, that I just cracked up over, and I want to share it with you all because it has a message for business people. If you know him at all, you know that he is prior military. He is a retired Marine Corps Master Sergeant. He gets a lot of things that are military related, that are police and security related. That's what he watches on television. That's what his social media is on his social media. And he shared it with me, and I absolutely cracked up. And I'm going to flip the camera here for just a second so you can see these two pictures. And they're pictures of these two thieves that got arrested after robbing someplace. And I can't remember. They were robbing something, and they took off. They jumped in their car for their getaway, and nothing happened. Their car wouldn't start. And they're out on the street trying to get their battery jumped so that they can take off, and the police catch up with them and arrest them and haul them off to jail. Now, wouldn't you have tried to figure out a better getaway plan? A better car, make sure that the battery was charged, something. Had another person in the car with the car running so they could just jump in and take off. You'd think they would have done something other than just, let's go rob someplace. And why I think this is so important for business people is because it's what we do as businesses. We're going to do something that day, and we do it, and maybe it works and maybe it doesn't, and we move on to something else the next day. We do this over and over and over again. Ask you to think about you're doing it and how it's going to affect you down the road. You go, I can't even decide what I want for dinner tonight, let alone what I'm going to be doing a year from now. Heaven forbid. Those are the kinds of comments I get all the time, and I'm just doing, ay. You're just like these guys that couldn't get away in their getaway car because he didn't plan ahead. No, it's not sexy. No, it's not something that we really want to do because it taxes our brains. We have to think. We have to figure stuff out. But if we don't do it, we're then going to wind up not getting where we want to go. And I talked about a little while ago, my ex-husband and I would have Friday night date night. Excuse me. And every Friday night we would go out for dinner someplace. He'd come home from work. I'd come home from work. We'd change our clothes. We'd get back out into the car. We'd sit in the car in the driveway, and we'd say, all right, where are we going? I don't know. 9 times out of 10, we'd wind up either at the same place that we always went to, or we'd go back in the house and not do anything at all because we didn't have a plan. We hadn't talked about what we wanted to do. We hadn't made any arrangements. And another story that leads in the same direction is when I was a kid, we would go on vacations every summer. Well, my mom and dad belonged to AAA insurance. And they would go down to the AAA offices and they'd say, hey, we're going somewhere and we need directions. and we need information on where to stay and what to do while we're down there and all that good stuff. The people at the AAA would say, okay, come back tomorrow and we'll have a triptych for you. And the triptych was a map, but it was in a little book that had, these ring binders on it, and you'd go so far down on the map, and then you'd flip the page, and then you'd go farther down, and it would show you where there were detours. It would have spots marked off for where there were good hotels. It would have other spots marked off for sightseeing and for restaurants. And, it's all GPS now. We do it with GPS. But back then, that was all they had. And we would follow that triptych from point A to point Z and back again. So we'd know where we were going, and we would get there safe and sound and get back again. And we'd have a wonderful time because we weren't worrying about getting lost or any of that. If you don't have this roadmap, if you don't have this plan, you're going to get out in your car and you're going to say, okay, well, I can turn the engine on, but what do I do from there? Have no clue where to go or what to do. And so you just sit there, or eventually you're going to run out of gas, or you're going to turn off the key and you're going to go back in the house again because you don't know. Or you're going to start out and you're heading for Mexico and you're going to wind up in Canada. It's, if you don't have at least an idea, then you're not going to get where you want to go. And if you just say, hey, I'm just going to go where the road takes me and I'm not going to worry about it and I'll figure out how to get home eventually, well, that's fine. But if you have a goal, if you have someplace you want to be with your business, then you need to figure out how to at least focus on getting there. Now, granted, things change. We really see that this year with the pandemic and everything that we've gone through this year. But for those of us who had a plan, who had a way of moving forward, regardless of what was happening around them, we've made it a lot further. And we've still got more success than others who just were living day by day. And that's the point. That triptych marked detours, and it said, be careful, this road may be under construction. When you've got GPS on now, my GPS tells me, oh, there's a police trap down the road, speed trap. Oh, there's an accident. Oh, this road is closed up ahead and you're going to have to make a detour. Those things happen. But if you know that you need to go north, you're going to find side roads that are going to continue to connect you so that you're going north. We're in an entirely new part of the country right now where we've never been before. And I'm the navigator, as Ed does all the driving. And we were trying to get back to where we're living yesterday. And I went, I don't have a clue where we're going. And the map's not telling me. And I'm totally lost. But I know this is north. We need to go north. We need to go this way. And we got home. We finally figured out where we were going. I saw some landmarks that I recognized, and we were good to go. We had an idea. Our goal was to make it home. And so we knew that we needed to follow certain roads, and we got there. It's not always fun. It's not always easy, and things change. And when you are accepting of change and accepting of flexibility and knowing that maybe you've planned something and it's not working out and you need to change that plan, that's okay. That's the way to do it, because you're open to possibilities. But if you're rigid and you say, nope, this is what I planned, this is what's going to happen, and I'm just going to sit there and wait for it to take place, you may be sitting for an awful long time. So with that, I have a invitation on Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Time. I am doing a mini retreat workshop. And that workshop is going to help you figure out that roadmap, give you that triptych, make sure that the battery's working in your car so that when you jump in it and take off, you're not going to get stalled because the battery's not working. You're going to have a connection. You're going to be able to go. And we're going to work together. There's a workbook that you get when you register for the program. And once you've gotten the workbook and have answered the questions, then on Wednesday, we're going to sit and talk about them and share our thoughts and our ideas and ask questions and really get everything going so that you have something concrete that you can walk into 2021 with. It's a great way to start the year. It gives you a tangible goal. It's going to help you with some business hacks that are going to make business easier and more successful for you and give you some of the time and freedom and money that you started your business most probably for, and that you're not going to have to work so hard to accomplish because you've gotten things figured out a little bit. You can find out more information and you can register by going to www.businesssuccessunlimited.com, and it's under the Dream Big Retreat. So click on that tab and it'll take you to the reservations, and hopefully we will see you on Wednesday. Y'all take care, and until we meet again, get out there, be productive, and soar higher. Take care, y'all. Bye-bye.